Hey everybody, it's been quite a while since I've made an episode. It's time to make at least a short one. The end of the last episode, I think it was 25, I was moving. So brought my shelves and my toolboxes and everything down here, all the extra airplane parts, cleared out the house, and then there's been a bunch of other stuff going on. So you can see I haven't got back to the airplane since I brought it down here, put the wings on for a little bit of airplane noise making sessions. Two things that have also taken up my time. One is that I made that trip to California finally. I flew that Yak 18 back. I made a different video. I'll show a super short clip here, then I'll link in the description below showing that trip and that airplane. Pretty interesting piece of history. And the other, even larger item is that after a couple months short of 15 years at the Boeing company, I have given notice. So what I'm going to do is go fly. Technically, we're going to call it bush planes in Alaska. It's really starting out in a Cessna 207. Had a hangar neighbor here, guy that I used to let fly my Citabria, has been flying up there in Alaska, Part 135, and he's been telling me I should join him up there. Well, kind of thought in about 5 years I would do a semi-retirement, because I'll probably never really be able to afford to retire, and go do something like that, but the pieces falling into place. This is going to work out pretty well, actually. So. And where I'll be flying out of is Bethel, Alaska. That'll be the hub. It's a 2-week on, 2-week off schedule. I'll be back here. It'll give me the 2 weeks at a time to actually get some work done on this airplane and also fix up that Yak, because it has a few squawks. Other than that, it's pretty cool airplane. And while I have been super thankful to have a job at all in the past few years and been able to weather out 2020 and COVID and all that crap, this just seems like an opportunity I can't pass up. So I'm not going to. Throw a couple clips over the top here of when I went up there, must be most of a month ago now, to fly with the guy I refer to as Other Alex. Got to meet all the other pilots, see the operation, and while it seems kind of crazy, Bethel is not exactly a beautiful place. It's out in the flat tundra, which for those of you who don't know just means thick, wet moss. Millions of lakes, it seems like. And the services they provide are to fly out to the various native villages. Some of them are pretty small, 60 people to a few hundred people. And I kind of laugh at myself. I'm going to do what amounts to being an Amazon delivery driver. But one of the things I could not help but notice is that every one of those pilots can't wait to get to work every day, and that's not an experience I've had for a while. So my significant other is behind me. She's fully supportive, and so I'm going. So at this point, I'm just waiting on a start date. Should be any time now. I've completed all my PREA paperwork, background check, P test, all that stuff. I'm ready to go. Waiting on the call. Back to the Kitfox. I show the cool parts I received recently. Well, I don't have any. I got a bunch of Adele clamps, various sizes. I think at the end of the last episode, I was coming up with some mounting plates for the various, call them LRUs, the boxes, part of the avionics that are behind the instrument panel, and actually in this case behind my seat, and for mounting the ELT. And I followed the advice of the very wise people on the Kitfox forum, and I got stainless steel Adele clamps because the ELT is heavier than most other items that I'm trying to attach to the airframe, and also more important that it stay where it's put in the event of an unscheduled impact with the earth. So anyway, today I'm just going to get organized here. A lot of stuff I brought here after the move or during the move and just dumped it off. Kicked rocks because I had stuff to do. So I'll be doing a little bit of organizing today, and then if I can, pull it off myself. Need to get these wings off. One of the things I did while condensing what was coming out of that garage was to get rid of my wing rotisseries. And I had them here before when I also had my Citabria, and they're actually too long to get the doors closed without a bunch of moving stuff around. So what I am going to do is use my very tall sawhorses, and I'm going to use the pieces of the rotisseries which I kept, which are the ones that plug in to the wing spars, and then I'm going to figure out a way to attach those to those sawhorses so that I can get the wings off and stored safely over there somewhere. And then I'm going to strip off some of the loose junk and the landing gear off this fuselage and flip it over and start covering the bottom. But I seriously doubt I'm going to get that far today. But I am going to work out exactly how it is I'm going to get those wings stored properly without damaging them and get ready to flip the fuselage over. It might take off some of the things. Not exciting enough that I'm going to bother putting that video, so... Alright, well, it's been 3 or 4 hours. All I've been doing is putting away tools. Took me up until just a few minutes ago to find my Cleco pliers. I was going to take these are my junk flap-rons that are hanging on here, put them on the wall. Reduce the opportunity for me to bang my head on them while I'm walking around, and waiting for my son to show up so we can get these wings pulled off. It occurred to me while I was digging through boxes that I said something about flying bush planes earlier. I should clarify. I don't mean the popular term applied to these toys right here, nor do I mean the hairy 300-foot gravel strips of flying a Super Cub or 185. I'm talking about flying a Cessna 207, also known as the Sled. Quite a weight hauler. Anyway, it's the real deal in terms of flying mail and supplies and food and people to these remote villages occupied by natives. And the wildlife up there is amazing. Muskox, all kinds of bears, beluga whales, walruses, eagles, like they're just all over the place. Pretty cool. Hope to be able to get out to do some sightseeing, and I'll be filming some of that. I don't know what they're going to allow me to film. I guess the going in position is probably they don't want anything filmed at all. But I'll ask the question and I'll see what I can get away with. Obviously, I'm pretty sure it cannot film anything during a revenue-generating flight, but possibly on a deadhead trip home, assuming it meets all the applicable regulations and doesn't show anything that would make the company look bad. I'll see what I can do. Hopefully I'll get some cool footage of the animals, and as the season turns into winter, where they do have quite a few days straight where it's just dark. In fact, when I was there 3 or 4 weeks ago now, it's been light up there the whole time, so I took a picture at 11:30 at night, and the sun was above the horizon. I took a picture at 5:30 in the morning, and the sun was also above the horizon. Just moved over a little bit. Just looking forward to the challenges of flying up there, and the stick time, basically. It's something I've been looking forward to doing for a long time. Been fully qualified, even ready for ATP for quite a while now. But I'm sitting in my cube while everybody else that can fog a mirror is getting hired to do some flying. So it's my turn. So it's unlikely in this video that I'm going to get around to getting the wings off, getting them stowed. I'll get some pictures of that when that takes place, or getting the fuselage flipped over. I have to use these sawhorses that I use for rigging my wings. I'm going to create some kind of a table so I can roll out fabric and cut it, because my concrete floor tends to get a lot of crap blown in underneath the gap. And so I'm gonna have to do something about that. Anyway, so I'll make a table out of that, cut the fabric, get those pieces ready. The experience I got on the wings, and of course that elevator that I didn't fall in love with when I was done with that, is going to apply pretty well to the fuselage. It's only got one spot on it, which is at the back. Anybody who's done one of these will know it's the vertical fin comes up off the fuselage. In the more modern version, the Series 7 has what they call a razorback. I can see why they did that. I think all the way back in episode 1 I said something about I wasn't going to do that, and I really don't want to. I think it looks cool actually just the way it is, with a flat back and then up into that vertical fin, but it's going to make for a challenging piece of covering. So I know there's some people on the forum that used Ortex and covered up Series 5 with that exact same scenario. Their builds came out really nice. I think John Evans, is that right? Anyway, gonna tap into his brain, see what he can tell me. So I'm basically gonna spend the rest of today putting tools away. Like I said, I'm just scratching the surface. I'm finding stuff that I just threw in a random box. Don't ever move. But getting organized and getting all my tools in one place is gonna be kind of nice. And it's actually gonna come out a little bit better than I had split between this hangar and my garage. And again, with my 2-week off schedule, I'll be able to spend multiple days straight down here getting stuff done. So looking forward to that. So good a place as any to call it a wrap here. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon.